Welcome to the DFS Dad's Dadcast, where we're talking about being a dad, playing fantasy sports, and the struggle to play fantasy sports while being a dad. I'm your host, Cousin Timmy, and welcome to today's episode where I'm going to give you my tips to help you save some money. Everyone likes to fill out lineups the day before, a night after a losing night, the morning of, but we all have the same problem. We don't have enough time to play. Time. This is what makes playing DFS and fantasy sports difficult. It's not the opponents you're playing against. It's not the rake on DraftKings. It's not picking the right guys. It's time. And today I'm going to give you 3 tips that are going to help you beat time and save some money. I can't tell you how many times I've had not enough time to set my lineups. It's about 15 minutes before lock, and I know I have to check my lineups to make sure that players aren't ruled out or somebody isn't joining the starting lineup late that I want to plug in to my lineup. And what happens? The baby does a poop. You have to go change the diaper. 15 minutes can fly by just like that. And the game is locked. As you're switching out a player, the screen locks on you. And you don't make the change. You don't have enough time. How about when you set a lineup the night before and you're excited to play the next day? You pick all your guys, the starting lineups aren't even in, and then you're at work and you get called into a meeting or you get chatting with somebody else and you lose track of time. You look at the clock, lock already happened, you're 10 minutes late. You missed it. You have 3 guys in your lineup that are not playing. You're taking a 0, that's dead money. These are what the pros and the sharks call dead money. And that's you. And these tips that I'm going to give you are going to help you stay out of the dead money. I've lost money over the years lots of times because I've set lineups that I forgot about that had players in them that weren't playing and were getting zeros. And I was just throwing money away. $2 here, $5 there, $25 here. It all adds up. And you don't want to be a victim of time. Right? So, here is my tip, number 1, to help save you guys money. An easy peasy tip. Set an alarm. If you set a lineup prior to lock, the day before or a few hours before, and you're not sure if you're going to remember, or you might be out and about or getting caught up with work, set an alarm on your phone. It's very simple. Set an alarm on your phone for 10 to 15 minutes before lock of that slate that just says DFS lineups. That's all it is. Your phone will beep. You'll check it. It'll remind you that you have to check your lineups, make sure you're not getting any zeros, and it'll save you money. In the long run, it'll save you money. Whether you win the slate or you don't win the slate, do it over and over again. It'll save you money because you will win more slates than you will lose in the previous time. Okay? That's my tip number 1. Set an alarm. Tip number 2. Don't play more than you can handle. Too many times I've won money, and the next day I get super excited, and I enter more lineups than I did the night before. 20, 50, 100. Sometimes I spend the time to enter 150 max lineups on DraftKings or FanDuel. I spend an hour messing around with the optimizer to get the lineups that I want. And then what happens? Somebody gets ruled out 5 minutes before lock, and you have 150 lineups to change. You can't do it. It's not possible. Okay? Sometimes the tech can go wrong. The upload doesn't load in time. The Excel sheet isn't saving properly for you. Stuff goes wrong. Shit happens. Don't be that guy. If you know that you don't have the time to spend, or you're not an expert on CSV edits, don't play 150 lineups if you don't know that you can handle it. Okay? Because half those lineups, if something goes wrong, somebody gets ruled out, a game gets canceled for whatever reason, you're going to lose a lot more money than you should have just because you couldn't handle the load. Okay? So, don't play more lineups than you can handle is tip number 2. And lastly, my third tip for you guys to save you some money, if you don't have time, don't play. It's very simple. If you know that you are not going to be around for lock the next slate, you know that you have a meeting, you know that you have to pick up your kids from camp or from school or from gymnastics or swimming or baseball or whatever it is, don't play. I know you have the itch. I have it every day. So many times I've played just because I really, really wanted to, but I knew I wasn't going to have time to be around lock, and it's bit me in the ass. Okay? So, if you don't have time, just don't play. And don't wait till the last minute, because you only have 15 minutes before lock to withdraw your entries on DraftKings and FanDuel. Otherwise, they keep your money. So make sure ahead of time you know if you're going to have time, not 15 minutes before. There's always another slate tomorrow. So there you have it, guys. These 3 tips are going to save you money this upcoming season, whatever sport you're playing, especially on the daily sports, MLB, NBA, NHL, all those daily sports that have lock times while you're working during the week or you're busy with kids. These tips will help save you money, okay? Set an alarm. Don't play more than you can handle. And if you don't have time, don't play at all. Thanks for listening, guys. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube and then subscribe to the DFS Dads channel. If you're listening on a podcast, please subscribe to the channel and rate and write a review for me. It really helps us, and the algorithm helps us get more views and become more popular. Okay? I'm your host, Cousin Timmy. This is the DFS Dads Dadcast. Signing off. Cousin Timmy's DFS tips to help save you money.